This is the third video in this series of sketch tool videos. And in this one, we're going to go through a list of a lot of things. The list of things we're going to go through today are on the Tools, Sketch Tools menu, and it's this section in here from mirror through circular patterns. So let's get started. The first function is mirror. And to get a mirror, you first have to have a center line. And a center line can be any kind of line that you draw, but you have to use the construction geometry switch to change it to construction geometry. Construction geometry and center line terminology can be used interchangeably. Also, there's an option available from the context menu or the right-click menu to convert any selection into construction geometry. To get something you're going to mirror, you just draw something on one side of the mirror line and then select everything and hit the mirror button, mirror entity, and that automatically creates the mirror. This mirror is parametric, and no matter how the center line moves or how the individual entities move or change size, the mirror stays active. Okay, I'm going to delete these two circles, and I'm going to start a different type of mirror. This requires you to draw the center line first and turn on what's called dynamic mirroring. So that's under Tools, Sketch Tools, Dynamic Mirror. When you're dynamic mirroring, you'll get the two hatch marks on either end of your center line. And so now anything that you draw is automatically mirrored to the other side. So those are two sketch mirroring tools that you should know how to use. Next is a function called dissolve, and there are a couple of ways to dissolve things, and this tool is a little bit confusing. The dissolve that you find in Tools, Sketch Tools, Dissolve is related to the explode lines that you find in an assembly. So we have an exploded view. I can right-click on the exploded view, go to Smart Explode Lines. Solidworks creates these for me, and I'll hit the green check to accept that result. From here, I can right-click on the 3D explode sketch, edit the sketch, select a line, and go to Tools, Sketch Tools, Dissolve. You'll know you got that wrong if you see the following message. Here we'll do the same thing, but without selecting anything. The selected sketch is not valid for this operation. So if you get that message, you know that you haven't done the correct thing. The upshot of using this tool is that when you edit this sketch, now you can take this line and just edit it however you want. It's no longer a smart sketch, and you can do what you want with it. Another type of dissolve can be found with sketch text, and we'll just use the word dissolve on this, and we'll say okay. The tool from the Tools, Sketch Tools menu is not going to help you in this case, but if you right-click on that sketch text, one of the options that you'll have here is Dissolve Sketch Text. Dissolving sketch text, it's kind of a last resort. It's extreme, and you don't want to have to go here. What this does is it turns everything into little lines and arcs. This is really not the kind of data you want to have to work with. There may be some situations where you've got to make a small edit to a particular font to get it to where you want to go, but there might be easier ways to do it rather than dissolving the sketch text into sketch entities. Stretch entities. Let's get back into this sketch that we're working on. And let's create a stretchable sketch. It's just going to be a set of semi-random lines. The stretch entities can be found under the Move Entities drop-down. Stretch entities gives us entities to stretch, and what we want to do is select select the entities that you want to stretch, but do it with a right to left box so you're getting anything that's crossing. And the stretch about should be a point on the original location, and then you can stretch it out to any other location. Let's back out a little bit and put a circle in here so that we have a center point. I'm going to get rid of this sketch text down here. Next, we're going to use the rotate entities. And I'm going to box select this amorphous shape that I've created. This goes into the entities to rotate. The center of rotation will be the center of my circle. And notice now that my cursor has the left mouse button, which is a curly arrow. My right mouse button is a green check mark. So the curly arrow is telling me that dragging the left mouse button is going to give me my rotation. And so I'll do that. And this allows me to rotate that selection wherever I want to put it. I could also key in a value in the property manager. Notice the temporary origin shows up and turns, but the sketch origin, the part origin, do not move. The next function in this vein is the copy entities. So entities to copy, again, we're just going to box around here. And from and to allows me to move or copy these selected entities from this endpoint to another endpoint, or any point that I want. Move entities works the same exact way, but the original will not remain. And finally, scale entities. You guessed it, you got to box select the original. You find an origin that you want to scale about, and so we'll click here. And is this going to be a copy, or are we going to delete the original? Size the scale of the sketch however we want to do that. So that's how those functions work. Replace entity, found under Tools, Sketch Tools, Replace Entity, is something that people, I think, should use more often. Too often, people just delete things from a sketch, but when you delete something from a sketch, you're also deleting a face from a part, and then you're deleting that face from an assembly. Also in the drawing even. There are things down the road, parent-child relationships, that are going to be affected by just deleting something. If you want to replace a line with an arc, then this is how you'd go about doing it. First, you start out and create the actual thing that you want to replace something with. Okay, so we know that that's extra right now. We'll go to the Tools, Sketch Tools, Replace Entity, and replace this entity. So we'll select the straight line with this one, and we'll select that. I think that you should always make the original a construction entity, because you never know if you're going to have to go back to it. Then click on OK. If this sketch was used making a feature, you're going to have fewer problems down the line with parent-child relationships not recognizing what's wrong with this edge, or that face. Solidworks gives us the tools to really fix things, and we really should use them. Now we're going to make a linear pattern from a sketch. Okay, so direction 1 is defined as the x-axis. You can redefine it as a sketch line or something else. Direction 2 is the y-axis, but again, you can select something else. Unexpectedly, the entities to pattern is at the bottom of the list, and I'm just going to select that arc. We're going to give it a certain spacing, and let's make it more than 1 millimeter. Okay, and then we can move up and do the same up here, and create this pattern. Now, sketch patterns, I don't believe, are really the way to go. I think better use of parametrics in SolidWorks if you pattern features, bodies, parts, whatever you do, anything else is better than patterning sketch entities. But this is a function that's available. So you can make a linear pattern or a circular pattern. So I hope you got something from this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll talk about everything from create a sketch from selections to repair sketch, align, modify, close sketch to model, check sketch for feature, 2D to 3D, and pen tools. That'll be exciting.